G'day, fellas. And welcome to Outback Octagon, game number 11 in week 2. We're off to a good start here. We got a beautiful biome and we got ourselves a beautiful beginning to a beautiful game. Welcome to, well, things are getting off nice and hot here. Today's map is rigged chaos. Now, it's rigged in a couple of ways. The first way that it is rigged is that there is a lot of food. The second way that it's rigged is there is not a lot of relics. So if you like relics, bad news. There's only 3 relics, and well, there's 3 relics on the south. Lucifron gets 3 of them. Actually, no, we got there's a few relics. We've got another relic over here with Anatan. Then we got another relic, another 3 over on this little spot right here. So there's enough relics, but let's get into it. Let's introduce our players because the boar does eventually get taken. You got to be careful there, my friend. I think Baltoon, you got to be very careful with those villagers. Yeah, king comes forward. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. The king heals up over time, you got to remember. So this is absolutely okay. Exactly what we would expect. Let's get to it. Ladies and gentlemen, spawning in the west of the map in the color yellow, playing as Joan of Arc. Perhaps his best spawn in the history of Outback Octagon. Ladies and gentlemen, representing Team United States of America. Let's give you anxiety. And to his south in the color pink, playing as the Order of the Dragon. Representing Team Volta Esports, it's Anatan. To their east, in the color light blue, cyan, teal, all of the above. A back-to-back Outback Octagon champion, ladies and gentlemen, playing as the Byzantines, it's Puppypaw. And boy, oh boy, isn't he gonna be happy. There's no way. There's no way. Can you imagine if it fits? I don't think it will, but if it does, can you imagine? Holy bro. Dude, Puppypaw right now? Can you imagine him, dude? He's sitting here, he can't wait. He can't wait. He's like, let me in. Like, let me build it. Bro, can you please tell me it fits? I think it might fit. Like, it kind of looks like it can fit right here. Oh, I don't want to take my eyes off him, dude. It's gonna be, it'll be a while. All right. Let's get back to it. Let's get back. Okay, in the south of the map, in the color blue, we saw him a little bit earlier playing around with the boar. As the Mongols, it's Baltoon. To his south, not too far away, playing the English variant, representing Team Spain. It's Lucifron 7 on the House of Lancaster. Over towards the east side, 2 players side by side. Oh my lord, they're close. They are close. Ladies and gentlemen, our first player on the Macedonians. Jeez, every time we see the Macedonians, they've never got any space. Ladies and gentlemen, on the Macedonian dynasty, the Byzantine variant, in the color red, playing, it is Vortex. We got 2 brothers in this game. And, of course, 1 screen away from Vortex. In the color purple, representing Team USA as well, playing as the Ottomans. We've got Fei-chan. And finally, in the north of the map, the most isolated of them all by far, the color orange, returning to the Outback Octagon, ladies and gentlemen, it's Donati. Welcome to an Outback Octagon game. Welcome to a casted game. Welcome to game number 11. A pleasure to have your company in this Outback Octagon number 4. Jeez, can you believe it's been this long? I tell you what, I remember back a long time ago when we started Outback Octagon and we were thinking about Outback Octagon 2. I wasn't sure going ahead with it. I was talking to one of the developers for Age of Empires. It was over in Germany. And I was talking to him and I said, look, I just don't know how we're going to spice it up. I don't know how we could do it. And he said, well, have you thought about like maybe making it so that like they get a king and that like you could get population for a kill? And it sat with me for a couple of seconds and I was like, holy shit, it's absolutely beautiful. And now we sit here after all these Outback Octagons. Puppypaw's got 2 in the bag. Beastie's got 1. Question on everyone's mind is who's going to get the next one? Because I think we found ourselves a pretty comfortable little format right here. This Outback Octagon thing, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. Now, will he get it down? Oh, he's preparing. He's preparing. Please tell me there's space. Puppypaw, click the button. The vills aren't moving. Okay. Go. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Puppypaw, click. Click. Ah, he can't fit it in. It's too big. Just the tip. Just try and get the, just put the tip in. It's still good. It's still good. It's just a little, oh man. We were so close. Which one do you reckon's mucking it up here? It's got to be this guy, right? Oh. We almost had it in. And then... No. Anyway, A-Job's coming through. Let's take a look on the south side. We got Baltoon here with the boar start. He's going to be going straight castle off a boar. There's no way you're not. You're going to have a very quick A-Job here. On the south side, our House of Lancaster player. Now Lucifron dropping down the Abbey. We'll check in over on the east. We've got our Hippodrome that's coming up. We've also got the Twin Minaret Madrasa coming up for Faye. Don Ardi about to click up with the School of Cavalry. And over on the west side, GUA with the School of Cavalry as well. Now, of course, before we get into that, ladies and gentlemen, we need to take a quick second here just to look at something a little bit different. Of course, I'm talking about the leaderboard. So if you don't want to get spoiled, make sure you take your eyes off the screen for the next 10 to 20 seconds as we come back towards this spot. Let's do it. Let's jump across. Sorry, I'm trying to jump across. There we go. Let's hit that leaderboard button. All right. So obviously you don't want to be spoiled. So make sure you're covering your ears right now and your eyes. That's where our current leaderboard is. Keep in mind, we've had 2 games so far in this round. So, of course, 6 more games are going to be coming up. Let's get back into the action. All right, so another thing to note is we've got chat in this game, which is lovely. Oh, we've got ourselves Joan of Arc coming out. A lot of damage being done early on by Anatan to Joan of Arc. Doesn't want her to get in here at all. And I think it's going to be hard for her to find an angle to work. Nothing really here. All the resources safely tucked under the town center. So I think Anatan should be fine when it comes to aggression. Now, of course, we've got a couple of goody huts, a couple of Easter eggs when it comes to this map, of course. Those who were here early would have seen what was happening over here. But yes, for the moment, nothing too crazy with regard to this map. How about sacred sites? 2 sacred sites, a single trade post in the middle. I absolutely love this. I like this a lot. The single trade post in the middle of the map, together with the 2 sacred sites on either side. This is quite nice. This is also very defensible. The fact that you've got the wood line here to the back, I mean, it's not going to be there for a long time. Puppypaw is here, but it's definitely something to consider, something to think about. Now Burgrave. Oh, Ves Anatan. What are you doing here, my friend? Anatan, brother, what are you doing here? This obviously gets scouted by GUA, and GUA goes, oh shit. Oh, what have I done? I've poked the bear. I've poked the bear. GUA's poked the bear. All right, we got ourselves scouts. We got ourselves a couple of lords down here on the south as well, beginning to work their magic. Horsemen over towards the north. Of course, Vortic's going to be looking anywhere but his neighbor because, well, you don't want to anger your neighbor, do you? You can already see the outpost work coming up. A little bit of action down here on the south. And I think one thing that disappoints me, at least for now, is the fact that nobody has bothered to move towards the north of the map. In fact, it's not going to be until our first castle ages come through from people like the Don that players actually start realizing, hold on a minute, there's literally no one in the north of the map. Now, there's a lot of resources over on this east side. In fact, Don Ardi's pretty much got all of these resources to himself. There's deer, there's gold, there's a lot of resources. You could almost say that it's rigged. So we'll keep that in mind. First castle age now coming through. Guildhall. Bit of a weird spot for Don to be putting the Guildhall. I don't know why. Normally you see the Guildhall against the edge of the map, but maybe he's thinking he'll do like the Red Palace or something along the edge of the map. So that could be an option for him. Numbers continue to build. Castle Age has now come through. Now keep in mind, we've got Anatan. He's gone here for the Burgrave. This is not Holy Roman Empire Burgrave. This is Order of the Dragon Burgrave. So while yes, there's units, yes, they come out relatively quickly, it's nothing compared to what the Burgrave that you're used to. More Castle Ages coming through. Interestingly, no 2TC Castle Ages. Very strange. Have we got any second town centers coming down yet? It's a bit of a meta breaker right now. Normally, you see players go for the second TC into the Castle Age, but everybody looking to go into either a combination of units or just going raw straight up to Castle Age. Peculiar. Interesting. But at the same time, I'm all for it. I love to see this shift, and perhaps this is one of those things that has changed because of the new rules. For anybody unfamiliar with the rules, what's changed? Well, they're not new rules. It's just the point system has changed a little bit in Outback Octagon 4. Specifically, we've reduced the amount of points you get for winning, which might seem strange because winning's cool. But essentially, that gives a little bit more weight to kills. And because of that, I suspect players are probably thinking, okay, winning's cool, but let's focus on killing as well. If I can get first blood, that's a lot of points. If I can get a first blood while I'm in the feudal age, that's also a lot of points. So Now we start to see the Hobblers building on the south. Lucifron playing probably the weirdest combination I've ever seen as the House of Lancaster. Hobblers together with the Lords. And he's adding in more. He just continues spamming these bad boys out. Numbers continue to build here for him. Spearman number is building over on that west side. And now the Hobblers, together with the Lords, fighting up against the Keshiks. He's going to have to fall back away. He's got the outnumber, but of course the Keshik's particularly strong, especially because of that healing that they've got. He's trying to surround the Lords here. Lords, of course, got a lot of health on them, but of course, compared to the Keshiks, those Keshiks do not mess around. And now the town center going to provide a little bit of cover fire here as he retreats back towards the base. Keep in mind, both of these guys are feudal age right now, so a little bit of a 1v1 we are witnessing on this south side of the map. The question is going to be about whether or not people come to interrupt their play, whether or not they allow them to fight safely in the corner of the map, or whether or not somebody gets some ideas. Of course, you know where I'm looking, you know who I'm thinking about. You know what I'm suspecting right here as the cataphracts begin to make their way out. We've got the Golden Horn Tower here as well. What's he doing here with the Golden Horn Tower? Producing mercenary units for free. It's kind of weird looking at the Golden Horn Tower after I've spent so long looking at it for the Macedonians. I had to refresh myself. Oh, King comes out. King goes back inside. All right, we're okay. Things not looking good for Lucifron early on, though. Baltoon definitely doing a bit of a number right here. Interesting strategy from Lucifron, going for a Hobbler snipe. I don't know what the exact goal was for him. Puppypaw in the middle of the map. Puppypaw, you got to be careful here, my friend. Don't dare think about... Could he do it? No, he couldn't do it. There's no way he could do it. Lord's getting sniped out down on the south side. Do not fret, ladies and gentlemen. Do not fret, but I suspect Lucifron may potentially be facing elimination shortly. And now Puppypaw once again pops it. He will see this vision. If we ride on board with him, you can see down here on the south side that there are Keshiks in the base. And look at the movement immediately down towards this angle. Puppypaw now really potentially looking to take this out. He's got quite a few. You can see he's on the way. All he knows is that there's action down here. He wants some of it. He's going to look for it. Age Up comes through. Over on the east side, Kairusophon's coming out in force. Oh boy, have we got ourselves a little bit of action. Age Up only just came through for Faye. And Vortex says, hey, Feudal Age is cool. You want to play in Feudal Age? Faye now, with the MIA in the back, going to opt into Springords. Gets the wall up as well. Woodline's nice on the back spot. Can we just talk about this biome as well? How beautiful this is. Such a good looking biome. I don't know what makes the biome look so nice. There's something about it that I like, though. King's inside this town center. Keep that in mind. Towards the south, though. First of the Puppypaw units makes its way in. No real surprise here, ladies and gentlemen. This is what he does. This is what he loves. He's so hyper-aware, hyper-aggressive after reaching the castle age. And now Vortex. Oh, Donati. Donati just going up to Imperial with a red palace in the middle. King's out of water. Makes a bit of a run for it. We've got the Radari right here. The Hippodrome Radari. Oh, he's got the block. That's it. Faye's going to be tapping out the first one tonight. The Janissary fired, but unfortunately wasn't able to find it. And first blood goes over to Vortex. He picks up the first kill. We got ourselves a Vilpool coming through from Baltoon. He was trying to go for the first blood. He knew how important it was, but now he misses out on those points. He's still in the Feudal Age, so he's going to get points for the kill if he can confirm it. There's a lot of units here. Where's Puppypaw? Puppypaw retreating back to base. Cataphracts have gone. They said, you know what? It's too much. We're not able to really do it. But Baltoon, he commits 100% here. He says, hey, if we can walk away with a couple points, we should be all right for the moment. And now the King makes a run towards the south. Keshik's looking to connect. Should be able to find it. It's only a matter of time. Town center goes down. Lucifron making a run, but in the end, Baltoon able to best him at the finish line. Good night, Sweet King. Plus 50 goes over to Baltoon. Plus 50 to Vortex. And now Vortex, in the Feudal Age, has got an interesting conundrum. You see, this guy to his north is in the Imperial Age. Don Artie has gone 1 TC Imperial. He's thrown down additional town centers now. You could go even more if you really wanted to, because remember that your town centers do get boosted up when you're playing through the Red Palace. But now, over towards the west side of the map, the action continues, ladies and gentlemen, as GUA begins to return the favor of the early game. Remember, I mean, I say return the favor, but we never really saw Anatan do anything other than just defend himself. So GUA is going to try and commit hard under here, but he's got spears. And these are gilded spears. King's doing a little bit of a run around here. Took a bit of damage. He's playing with fire. But I tell you what, Anatan, he knows how to keep the gloves on so he doesn't get burned. He's okay. He lives a little bit longer. He's Imperial Age. Swabia is online as well. Okay. We got ourselves a ball game. Now, how are we doing on relics? Was there not a relic in his base? There was absolutely a relic in his base. It's right there in the outpost. There we go. We spotted it. It's hiding. We found it. And now Puppypaw beginning to push down towards the south. We've got ourselves some camels coming out here. And I love this. This is so smart. Moving into the, oh my god, Palatine school as well. So he's got even more options. We can hear some chat coming through right now. Baltoon saying, we cool? Puppypaw saying, sure. There's never been a more iconic duo, has there? So, who's in the best position right now? You know, because we often talk about in the early stages of the game who's got the worst position, who's got the best position. I saw a comment in chat earlier, and I'm going to copy what they said. They said, it should be illegal to spawn next to Vortex. And I got to feel the same way. It feels really bad. We've seen 2 Spanish bros with 2 bad spawns in this game. One of them has gone the way of the dodo, and the other one is going the way of, I don't know, ants, I guess. That's a successful species, right? Ants. Don't they have like more biomass than humans? Which is kind of incredible when you think about it. I think it's like 6 or 7 times the biomass that humans have got. So basically, if you added all the humans up, put them on a scale, and then you added all the ants together and put them on a scale, like the ants outweigh the humans by 7. I think it's something like that. So basically, ants are fat. That's what I'm saying here right now. So yes, Jay, you're absolutely right. Okay. Keshiks, they're going to be in trouble here, mainly because of the camels. The debuff that's coming through. There's way too many camels here as well. You can't ignore that fact. But at the same time, he's got to be here. This is his king that we're talking about. He's stuck in feudal. And this is the consequence of going for that all-in. We saw him move his villagers down here. He's been collecting the sheep of his opponent, enjoying the fruits of that victory. But eventually, the chickens come home to roost. Or in this case, the deer. In this case, the sheep comes home to roost. And that sheep is Puppypaw. He's coming home. He's coming home. He's bringing it home, ladies and gentlemen. Puppypaw is looking to establish himself early on here. Now, keep in mind, Imperial Age, this is kind of weird. Everybody has rushed Imperial Age. Not something that you typically see. King's over here preparing himself behind these palisade walls. GUA doing the right thing, at least early on. But over towards the west side of the map, like, we've got ourselves a bit of a 3-way that's happening here. We've got the spears from Anatan that are looking for GUA, and they're going to absolutely find him. There's no way about it. Anatan knows exactly what's going on here. Poor GUA. I mean, is this just a classic case of GUA not having enough FFA experience? Because he always gets picked off so early, so he never really gets to play out into the long game. But, like, GUA spots out all of these spears now, and surely realizes, hey, I wonder what are those spears doing? Okay, he's done the right thing. Deletes the wall. King on the run. Godspeed. Speaking of kings. Oh, you thought we were going to miss it? You thought we were going to miss it? No, wait. We don't miss the king kill. We never miss the king. You thought I'm going to miss this one as well? We get the 2 for babies back to back. Baltoon tapping out. Puppypaw able to take the killer now. All of the knights looking to defend the king. GUA somehow finds a miracle. He's up against gilded spears though, so I don't know how long this miracle's going to be. Well, a miracle. Will Puppypaw find this kill? He could, potentially, but he's got a little bit of trouble over towards that position. Ladies and gentlemen, he goes down. It's plus 50 over to Anatan, and now there were 4. Boy, oh boy, that happened quickly. We got 3 players with three players with 1 kill each. We've got 1 player who is just having a great time. Don Artie, of course, known for his ability to vibe out. And that definitely feels like the type of game that he's playing here. Poor GUA. So, what mistake did GUA make? GUA made the mistake of moving his king away from the town center. Moving the king away from the town center is definitely a smart move, but it needs to be once you've got a little bit of security established, especially pushing him into an outpost. The fact that you can only build palisade walls in the feudal age and then stone walls unlock in castle also hurts this quite a bit. If these were stone walls, completely different case, but they were not stone walls. They were only palisade walls, and it naturally meant that his opponent was able to run him down, and Anatan in the end able to pick up the kill. So despite Anatan's starting position, he finds himself in a good spot. He's Imperial Age. He's only got the 1... I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh, I can't believe we missed it. Okay. Oh, that is not good. Sorry. I'm sorry. Don Artie picking up the snipe. All right. I will say right now, I think part of the reasoning why I may have missed that is because you've got orange v red. It's a little bit difficult to distinguish for my eyes. I apologize. I need to keep a better eye on that, and I need to stop waffling on about things that aren't meaningful. You know what's meaningful? King kills. Don Artie finding king kills. Don, I'm sorry. I think that's the 2nd king kill we've missed this event so far, and it was one of yours. I think that might be also your only king kill. I don't want to talk down to Don too much. We do enough of that already. Don's a good friend. Keep that in mind. Okay, so let's talk about this final three. We're already at final three, 20 minutes into this game, and we got a lot to talk about. So first and foremost, we got Don with 1 kill, Imperial Age, a lot of town centers, arguably the best spot in the game right now. Why is he in the best spot? Not because he's Imperial Age, not because he's got more town centers, but because of his positioning. You see these other two guys very close to each other. So even if they were going to point at Donati and say that's a problem, how do they possibly ever get away from the fact that one of them might potentially snipe the other? That's the trouble that you've gotten. Now, we see that starting to be realized in real time here as Puppypaw makes a bit of a run for it. He's got a whole bunch of cavalry, and look what Anatan has done. And this is something that I think we've seen him do in multiple games now, where everyone else is making cavalry, Anatan is making spearmen. And I think that this is just so damn... He's walled himself out. He walled himself out. He's walled himself out, and he's bought time for the spears to get around to the back. Puppypaw's in trouble right now at the 22-minute mark. He's trying to hold on. The King's made it through to the south side, but guess what? Where are the reinforcements coming from? They're coming from the south. He could make a run back towards the town center. Has he got the movement speed to pop? He doesn't. He's got sprint on cooldown for another 30 seconds. He's going to try his best to get back to the TC. He should be okay. That King, you can see, is trying to keep it with the army, trying to defend it. More spears coming on the back. I don't like this. I don't like this. Deletes the house. Needs to be so careful. King micro is good. It's solid. He's staying alive, but every second that goes on in this game, one man gets stronger. One man with multiple town centers, multiple ages. I was going to make a joke about chromosomes right there. I'm not going to do it, Don. We'll allow you to get past this one. Oh my god, the spearmen are getting close. He should be okay. He's going to be all right. But that's scary. Puppypaw, that was a little bit close for comfort. A little bit close for comfort. You can even see him in the chat. I hate Biz in FFA. I mean, it could have been beautiful, Puppypaw. It could have been amazing, but unfortunately, you just couldn't fit it in. If you had fit it in, can you imagine the difference? Now, Javelin's going to try their best to kite backwards here. Spearman number's still looking strong. Now, how are we doing on Vil count? 98 for Anatan. Keep in mind he's Order of the Dragon, so that's an impressive amount of Vils. Puppypaw on 46. It seems almost certain that Puppypaw will be going down to Anatan. The question in my mind is whether or not Donati is going to be able to match Anatan in the late game, because, well, he's making a whole bunch of Royal Knights, and Royal Knights are a cool unit, but Spears are also a cool unit, especially when we're talking about them. Checking in with Puppypaw, seeing what the play is here. I don't know how he gets through this. I don't see any way that Puppypaw lives through this right now. He's got no archers. He's only got 10 military units to his name, a single cataphract, and 8 javelins, and the javelins are just getting worked down here. More javelins now going to be popping out. Have you seen anything more beautiful in Age of Empires? The water flushing onto the ground. Sacred site being neutralized. The water flushing onto the ground. I need to keep track of these kings, by the way. Speaking of kings. Okay, it's safe in the town center. I can't believe we missed this, man. I can't believe we missed it. I don't know where it was. I suspect probably what happened was in this TC. It got chased. And he made his way down here, and then that's why we saw all the units kind of running from here. Oh, man. It's so painful to miss the king like that. Especially when you've got these high-octane games where they just kind of happen very quickly. I was so proud of myself, the fact that we didn't miss the king on the south, but we didn't miss the king on the north, and then we missed the king in the east. It's all right. Speaking of... Hey, we're not missing this one today. Whoa, you thought we had it. No, he didn't. He was going for a bit of a runner. Well, he wasn't going to be going too far. This keep down here, it belongs to Anatan, and there were 2. Now we see ourselves with a bit of an interesting thought. Order of the Dragon's kind of good, right? We've seen them do well today. A second relic's going to get picked up here. Now, the first time we didn't see the Regnet, or rather, the first time we did see the Regnets. Second time, we don't see it. But the relic number is still improving. In fact, we've got 1 in the bag here, another 2 that are out here. So I think that's all the relics on the map that have been picked up by players now. 4 for Donati, 3 for Anatan. Now, Don has got himself quite the position here. On top of that, he's also got the Red Palace. And the Red Palace is providing that emplacement. And the emplacement might not seem like much, but I tell you what, it absolutely adds up. When you talk about keeps, like, it's basically like a springald. It's probably the best way to think about it. That's on steroids. I think that's probably the best way to frame it. Is Donati just going to commit here? I mean, we've got a king in a keep with emergency repairs that's got a back door, easily accessible. And to be honest, the moment I see all of these knights running in, as soon as they get to, like, this position right here, we're just moving the king anyway. Because we know that these knights can't kill us. There's no Joan of Arc here. Bit of a spoiler right there for game number 6, but I'm sure you folks have probably seen it by now, game number 6. There's the king, or at least we saw the king for a second right there. Was it the king? No, I think it's the landmark. It's appearing on the map. A little bit hard to distinguish pink and orange, but we'll allow him to continue for the moment. Well, a loyal attempt number 1. Unsuccessful, but does a decent job in repelling for the moment. King's still safe inside the keep. And Donati looking to clear this out. Now, keep in mind, Donati's got 85 elite Royal Knights. Still yet to take the second Sacred Site. Let's see whether or not he can potentially pull that out. Knights move around to the north. Donati 155 villagers now. Just committing 100% to Knights. And now we start to see the siege being added in. Cannon's going to be coming out here. Could look for mangoes or potentially even something a little bit more randy. Don't dare do it. And now towards the backside. The trouble that you have here is this keep. Not only does it have emergency repairs, but the back door is very close. So Donati would have to be very much thinking about the prospect of that and making sure he's in the right spot. But, of course, he's not going to take the bait. He's not going to allow his opponent to get free kills on all these elite knights and instead start setting up the Sacred Timer. And I think this is the smartest move. If you're playing from this position as Don, you probably want to wall off one side. Actually, do you need to wall off one side? Maybe because you're playing Cav, you don't need to wall. Maybe that's the play. He's looking to try and steal out some of the relics here. The keep is being repaired, so while technically you're losing units, your enemy's losing stone. Spear's going to come up. Don definitely needs to fall back with all these spears. They're going to melt through this cavalry, and he loses out 1, 2, 3 that go down. Not a terrible amount. But now we've got ourselves a bit of a matchup. So, at this stage of the game, who do you give the advantage to? I think you'd probably give it to Don, but Donati's also fighting into max spears, and he's only making Cav. And don't get me wrong, Cav's good, but like, you've got to mix it up at some point. Maybe if he can get some mangonels out, I would start cheering for Don a little bit more. And now, this is, because this right here is exactly what mangonels love. This right here could be magic. Don gonna try and commit 100% to this sacred. We've got keeps that have come up. Cannon emplacement as well. Arbalist emplacements here. What's the attack rate on the Arbalist emplacement? 1.5 attack speed. So Don should be able to hold this push right here. These are gilded spearmen. Hand cannoneers on the back, so hopefully he looks to focus these down. This is where the raw DPS is coming in, and you can see now that is indeed going to be the case. The elephants, excuse me, the knights now roaming towards the front. A lot more units coming through, and he's going to drop down. Archery rangers. I'll be real, I don't think Don's going to be able to hold this. I think the spearman number are kind of scary. Like, he might be able to hold right here, right now, but how do you hold all of the next waves of spearmen that come through? Like, look at this. You're talking 10 plus elite gilded spearmen that are making their way through, and in fact, you can see he's been able to do it. Don wasn't focusing down the hand cannoneers. He was very much committing to the bit of, I'm only going to make knights, and he's played it into the wrong player. Anatan, the spearman enjoyer, is starting to turn the tides, but while the tides may be turning, the clock is ticking. Don Artie, 8 minutes and 30 seconds. Mangonel is now out. No upgrades just yet, but keep an eye out for them. Expect them to be coming through shortly. Adjustable crossbars, of course, is what we're talking about here. And where else do we go from here? If you were looking, like, let's say from Anatan's side, I mean, Anatan can probably just fight this straight up. His economy is very good. It's 125 villages, Order of the Dragon villages as well. So the real number there is probably a bit closer to like 140-ish. Don Artie on 170 villages, which is arguably probably a little bit too much. I think as he approaches his maximum population, so now he's hit 1 or 250 pop, you could probably even argue into deleting villages just because it's so important for you to be able to defend this sacred site. It's not important for you to have resources constantly flowing in. It's just important to have a big army. And we now actually see him going for this super wall on the Red Palace. And this is great that he has identified this because there is absolutely a risk that your opponent just goes straight for the throat. So by having this super wall around the Red Palace, it guarantees that if the opponent does get through, he buys himself a little bit more time. Don, I don't know if this is the right call. Is this the right call? I mean, he's facing an opponent with more population than him, so maybe this is the right call to go on the offensive here. Don's going to look to push out. He's got mangoes on the top of the hill. He's going to try and connect. He does a decent job, but not a whole lot of damage that comes out. More cavalry makes its way to the front. Cannons firing off. Arbalistria on the back, but they're up against spearmen, so this is a little bit of a head scratcher right here, as the Arbalistria are not going to do particularly effective against them. Okay, now we're talking. We've got the upgrades starting to come through, but the spearman number is overwhelming. Look at this. Don Artie getting completely crushed in this battle of the sacred sites. Well, it's not really a battle of the sacred sites, but it's definitely a battle for the sacred sites. The winner here will go on to look to contest, almost certainly Anatan now. The Anatan Culverin coming up. Could look to put on even more pressure. Now, of course, Don could always think about going for a snipe as well. Keep that in the back of your mind. So he definitely needs to be aware of that potential. Both players could 100% do it. Still got these stone walls coming up here. And now the numbers still building for both players. Don Adi reaching 250. So there's definitely a part of me that thinks, okay, maybe it's a smart move for Don to push out here. Just because every second that he waits, Anatan is pushing towards that 300 pop. The trouble is, Anatan's literally making only spears, and Don's still not making archers. He's making hand cannoneers now, which is okay. But I feel like just going archers at this point, you've got elite army tactics. Just go into archers here. Switch a whole bunch of vills onto wood. Spam the archery ranges. Go crazy. Absolutely. And just wait for your opponent to switch into horsemen. Drop some spears. Get some knights out. Get your own horsemen to counter them. Mangonel's now going to start coming out. Still no adjustable crossbars just yet. Now keep in mind, Don Adi, while he's on the defense with the Arbitria here, will have that extra armor. Up to 8 melee armor here. Though those gilded spearmen do so much damage. They're on 21 damage. They're not your standard average spearmen. And because of that, it means the gilded, or the Arbitria, are not as effective in this situation. Sacred Site timer still ticking. We're at 5 minutes here. Don Adi is looking for another sacred victory. I say another one because he's so famous for it. We often see him going for, or attempting Sacred Site victories against numerous players. We've seen him do it against like 5 players before. He'll attempt it. Whether or not he pulls it off is a different story. It might be something that Corvinus is, well, he's the adept one, or the expert when it comes to those Sacred Site victories. His famous Sacred Site victory. How many players did Corvinus pull it off against? Was it 7? Might have been 6. I think it was 6 when the game ended, but 7 when he took the sites. Something silly like that. All right, Don. Has he switched into archers just yet? It doesn't look like it. It's just Arbitria. Is his mindset that, hey, Arbitria are more expensive, and therefore they're better units? I mean, don't get me wrong. I think the Arbitria is actually fine. As long as you're able to, like, stick your ground. But I will also compliment him on the fact that he's pushing in this situation. Because, as I said, like, a lesser player would try and go on the defensive or stay on the defensive, but you're just going to allow your opponent to hit critical mass. So you want to keep poking and prodding. And he's deleted vills as well. He's deleted about 33 vills at this stage, so he's got a bigger army. Definitely the right call for him here. The Don Adi in the chat saying, they call me the Imperial God. Anatan. Who? Voldemar? Yeah, he's pretty dumb. What are these guys on? Oh, gosh. Poor Voldemar just, like, copping flack out here. He's just... poor guy, man. The kid just chilling on the sidelines, catching strays. Poor Voldemar, dude. Oh, Lord. Okay, numbers inside the base for Anatan. Looking a little bit scary. Take a look at this. He's down to 236 right now. Don with a decent push. And remember, every second that goes on, this is happening behind the scenes. And Don looking increasingly better with the timing of this. Arbitria number is almost hitting that critical point as well, where he's really cutting through the spears, almost like he doesn't care that they're not armored yet. He's got a lot of damage on these bad boys. 19 damage. Of course, they're a little bit slower to fire than your standard archer, but he's still got, like, was it the crossbow stirrups that are helping him out here as well? So there's a lot going for him at this stage of the game, but the pushback is coming. You can feel it. The Culverin number up to 5 now. As 3 minutes remain on Sacred Victory timers. Don Adi looking for his first victory in this Outback Octagon. Anatan doing his best to deny it. He's picked up the 2 kills. We saw a little bit of movement speed right there coming out from these knights, and now Don with a huge force of units comes through. Anatan struggling to field an army to defend. He's at 61 military pop, but you'd look at his army and think there's nothing more than 6 military pop right here, right now. The keep is also going to be helping him out, and Don's just going for the kill. He says, we don't need the sacred sites. We can do it the old-fashioned way. Now, we do need to be aware of a potential snipe attempt. I don't think there's any chance of it happening towards Don Adi. You'd have to break these walls down, and then you'd have to kill the king, and then you'd have to follow the king out of the inevitable wall or gate that gets built eventually. And now, beginning to push forward. Cannons are out. It's got a couple of buildings. 2 minutes to go until Sacred defeat. Don Adi looking to bring it home. Bring it home, the Don. Bring it home for all those folks in the Netherlands, in Europe, in the Union. More Arbitria pushing up. His enemy now switching into horsemen to deal with this. So Anatan realizing, hey, you know what? These spears, not effective. So I think Don's maybe done the right move in just sticking with the Arbitria. So well played to the Don. for identifying, hey, you know what? Ublatria, kind of good unit. Has he only got +1 melee armor? Is that what I'm seeing here? Can we just quickly go and check the blacksmith back here, Don? Where's your blacksmith at? Don, I know you got a blacksmith. Don't try and hide it from us. Where is it? Did I miss it? Have I missed the blacksmith? Is it in the middle of the map? Nice trade route coming up here. Dude, I don't know where Don's blacksmith is. 1 minute till sacred site. We'll worry about that later. I got a blacksmith to find. Don, I see your university. Bro. The madman actually deleted his blacksmith. He's like, we don't need this anymore. We've got all the upgrades that we need, guys. It's fine. The thing is, I feel like he's missing a lot of upgrades. That's all. That's the only reason I'm looking for it right now. Use your hotkeys, Drongo. Oh, are we really gonna use hotkeys? F3? He doesn't have a blacksmith. He's got a university, and he just surrenders. He taps out. He says, "We're not gonna do it. The match is complete. We found the blacksmith. It didn't exist. The answer to your question, and that is it." I'm sorry. That was anticlimactic. He didn't have a blacksmith. That was amazing timing. That was that was beautiful timing. Also, the fact that if he'd had 2 buildings, it wouldn't have gone to the buildings, but because he only had 1, it did. Oh wow. Okay. So in the I can't believe that. In the end, Donati picks up the victory. That was a bit of a fun one. I'm sorry. My job as caster and commentator and cameraman is not. I'm improving. Let's just put it that way. I'm still new to it. Okay. We're still improving. Anyway, let's get to it because we've got some graphs here to go through. First and foremost, military count. Now, you can see Don Artie doing an incredible job here. This is military count, not military population, but it's not like we can actually pick military population, so it doesn't look that good. So he was doing a wonderful job of just keeping Anatan down. And that was the thing, right? Like, at the end of the day, if you know that your enemy's got more population, you just need to make sure that you're constantly fighting with them. And it might be tempting not to do that because you've got the sacred sites, but Don's still just taking the initiative there, doing the right thing. If he waited and just let his enemy come to him, there's a really good chance that he loses this game, just simply because his enemy's got a much bigger army. So his natural, Lancaster Square, he's going to be killed off a lot faster. Now, other than that, I think that's pretty much it. Let's take a look at the scoreboard. This should be updated as of this lobby. Give me a second. 3, 2, 1, and we're back in. Okay, so we got Puppypaw, who has played 3. 1, 2. Where's Don? Don now sitting in 6th place after that victory, so he's going to be feeling very comfy there. Obviously, he's picked up quite a few kills as well throughout this event. And anyone else to note? Anatan down in 10th. Of course, coming 2nd in that game. So, yes, we've still got quite a few games to go. Actually, for this round, we've got, obviously, the games. We've got 1 more game today, and then we've got 4 more games tomorrow. So, there's still quite a few players that are yet to play. But anyway, we move on to the next game. Hopefully, you've enjoyed this one. Apologies about the timing. We'll get better in the next one, and we'll catch you in the next as well. Bye.